Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see what we got for got here today. So I love barbecue, and I'm going to tell you something about the way I do my barbecues. Barbecues aren't just about food; they are about many other things. And right here, we're looking at a breakdown, a analytical breakdown of my barbecues. They have a prep mode, a cooking mode, and an entertainment system mode. These modes might vary in their length, but let's look at that later. One of the big differences to sort of maybe a typical barbecue is that I mainly use firewood. I do use a bit of charcoal too, but mainly firewood. And that gives me some possibilities for that you might not be able to achieve with just charcoal. Now you need tools. When you have firewood, you need some axes. You have to chop down your firewood. And I want to introduce you to a particular type of firewood that I like, which is the Himalayan cedar. On the left-hand side, you'll see a diagram of a regular way to chop down some firewood. You start from the outside and you go towards the center. I prefer to cut mine the way that's shown on the right side. So kind of work your way from the outside towards the center. And that's why, especially with this Himalayan cedar, you can cut it like butter. On the left-hand side, you can see some marks when you're trying to go from the outside towards the center. It doesn't cut like butter. So however, when you start from the outside and move towards the center, you get these beautiful cuts of firewood. And I found myself taking photos of firewood for this presentation, something I've never done before. Look at that beauty. You have those nice surfaces and tree bark, and it's just this very interesting cut that you can do with this particular kind of firewood. And when you cut it correctly, it actually burns really well and gives some nice smoke. Now, here's a kind of a typical barbecue breakdown, I guess. Prep mode, you start the fire, you bring the fire down a little for the cooking, and then later for the entertainment system mode, you bring the fire up. Recently, I've been using a method that I call the six-pack chimney method for starting the actual fire. So you take the wrapper out of a six-pack, you put in some charcoal on the bottom, you put some sticks, and then use a gas burner for lighting it up. And you get this nice square-shaped fire, which is very concentrated. And then you put some hardwood on top of it, as you can see on the right-hand side. And this particular firewood, you place it like this, so you can then stack some other stuff on top of it. As the stuff on the top burns quicker, now you're able to put on the grilling surface on the top. And I use this kind of a very different setup from other people's barbecues. So I have this kind of a very large open fire pit with a barbecue surface. Now here I've moved some of the firewood to the sides, which brings the square-shaped fire into a bigger size now. Now I can put on some bigger firewood, and now we're cooking with real fire. Of course, you can, of course, do a lot of different kinds of meats and stuff, but I wanted to point out a couple of things you may not think about when thinking about barbecue. You can make pasta. You can make popcorn. You can do vegetables. Also red wine, Dutch oven. You put Dutch oven, fill it with red wine and lamb, for example. Here's fish. On the right-hand side is katsuo tataki, which is a typical Japanese way of doing fish. For this, you need to have perfect flame conditions and a perfect temperature, but it can be done with the barbecue. So normally, I guess when people think about a barbecue, they only think about meat and the food. But I wanted to show you a quick, just a quick glimpse into the so almost like aesthetical side of barbecue and firewood. By the way, all of this firewood was knocked down by typhoons. So every year I receive a tree or two that has been knocked down by a typhoon. And this also doubles as a kind of a backup cooking method for in case if there's an earthquake and we lose the neighborhood loses electricity and gas, for example. Now let's take a look at the other one where the entertainment system is longer. Here we are no longer talking about any kind of square-shaped compact fire. Here we just let it go. We just put some nice firewood in and we just listen to it crackle, and we can watch it and just relax and enjoy and spend a wonderful night just watching the fire and eating the stuff that you just cooked. So I hope this has been a sort of a different look at a barbecue. And I'll be barbecuing tonight and hopefully streaming some of the fire here.